How we doing, everybody? Come on in. Rustle up to the truck wagon. Mm. Come on in. Rustle up to the truck wagon. Yep. Rustle up to the early Monday morning. See what we got going here. What is that? That tore up a little bit. Worn out 65. I don't know if that was done post-mint or not, but I like them. It's good enough for me to hold back. I'll figure it out if it's post-mint or not. We don't see too many messed up dimes or errors. So, my bad, guys. We're going to be doing dimes and nickels. You know, rotating. After one roll of dimes, go roll of nickels. Vice versa. There's another one like that. Thinking it's post-mint. That one is, at least. I'll look into it, though. Went through 2/3 of a nickel box, or about a little over half, because we have about 26 rolls left in it. So, no proofs or business strikes or anything, not even a new one yet. But, like I said, if you don't try, you'll never know. I know dimes can be pretty dull, but it pays to discover. Yeah, I seen them. I haven't. We haven't found one yet, but that's something on the hit list. We need it for the book. Got everything but that. You know, got to wait for the end of the year for, you know, because it's like every 3, 4 months they're pulling out another variant of the quarter. So we're at 2 out of 5 with that. 50 cent piece. Didn't see nothing about no penny. We got the nickels. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we got to rotate. Almost grabbed another dime. No, not really, because you can't fight fate, and I have no control over any of that stuff. So I'm not gonna get all hot and bothered. Sometimes you gotta crack a couple eggs to make omelet. So no, I don't. That'd be like, you know, me asking you, you know, you're not gonna be able to give me an answer, but you know, why is winter cold? You know, don't you hate winter? I can't assume that you hate a season. That's being pretty coy and one-sided. Don't you you know? Don't you concur? Savvy, capiche? No, I honestly like when the mint has theirs. Brings a whole new avenue to the ball game. When it comes to heirs, they got there's so many different things that could happen. So, and the you know all the heavy time collectors they love it too, and I could see why. They have a coin that's very abnormal from your average coin, and I mean that's the whole essence of heirs. So regardless if it looks like garbage or not, you know, like these are proofs and strikes. You know, they're pretty old. I can show you one right here. This is a 41 proof. Doesn't look like one. You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell unless you knew what you were looking for. It's not all about being shiny the way they come out like that. They might look like that, but don't judge a book by its cover. Well, you know, that, like I said, that's something that I can't worry about because I don't have no control over that. 46. Like the Moldskis. You know, you can't have one without the other. Of course, there's going to be stuff but that certain people don't like, but we're not, you know, not everybody is the same, you know. I can't be stereotypic when it comes to that because, you know, that's why everybody's their own person. What you might hate is something that a lot of people might like, and vice versa. You see how that works? Yeah, do yourself a favor and not clean any coins. Might as well throw it in the steel mill. What is that? Yeah. Wow, he's looking a little rough. I'm gonna check him on it. Wow. This mint mark's almost complete. I gotta see something about that. It's a little rough. That one be rough. 54. Another old skis. Love all the old ones. Yeah, so does CLR, but it ain't happening. Remember, guys, when it comes to the nickels, you know, other than what we're specifically looking for, NIFCs, get the 2024s. Very, very low mint run. Very low, under 40 million. Average circulation strike between Philly and Denver is almost 400 million. So 2024s is a guaranteed keeper, no matter what. There you go. Well, yeah, it almost reminds me of How you're talking about it now? You must be one of them people since you brought up the superstition. You one of them people that thinks the iron's hot even though it's never been pulled out the box, let alone plugged in. Well, that's why you're all hot and bothered. You're worried about things that are completely out of your control. You know, like the weather or the sun coming up or dying. Those are things that are completely inevitable. Well, isn't that something? Good thing we're not about monetary gain with it. No, not at all. Allergic to bullshit on here. Especially massive talkers. No, there's a poll being ran on you. You wanted to be special. Yeah, well, we're busy doing something. We're going to stay because this is what we do. Nothing gets in the way of progress. Yeah. Isn't that something? Oh, I can tell. You're trying to bird feed it. This ain't a nest. No, you get what you give. You get what you give. Massive talker. All you just talk. You don't sit and behave. I can see why they all voted you out. That wasn't on me. I tried to warn you. I tried to save you from it. I suggest to you to behave. You just had to keep running that hole in your head you call a face. Like you the next best thing than baked fucking bread. I love it. Haven't had anybody trying to flop around like a fish out of water. Keep it up, you. No, I like it. You make things eventful. Because dimes are a little dull, so when we're on the nickels, you can behave. But I don't think this. I don't think you could handle it anyways. Look, the strain's too much for you to bear. I told you if you fall, you ain't getting up. And you just had to keep talking, tripping over your own shit. Now you can airplane that bullshit to yourself. Yeah, you like that, right? Go put some pressure on your back and read a book. It just shows your ignorance that you couldn't sit down. How incapable you are. You couldn't sit down like everybody else that's on here and behave. Yeah, you're diluting yourself pretty bad. You want to keep spinning your fucking tires in the mud? Have at it. Not on here though. So you want to slide down that sewer again? We'll see after you're done behaving. You got to reflect on your actions now. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that a daisy? You get what you give. Let's see if we get any 2000. This is a fresh box of nickels, guys. You know, we finished off that one box last week. At the end, the last 5 rolls, we got 2 of them war nicks. Got some pretty proofs. All the way up to a dirty 41, a black 41, Black Beauty. So, yeah, we did pretty epic. We didn't find no northern yaks, but we found little buffaloes. It'll be all right, though. We're going to do it. 97, looking like little buffalo. Cherished blood collects them. Like I collect my marsupial sunbats. I'm telling you, sometimes some of my craziest errors I'd be finding are nickels. Is that me, or is it like trying to come in through the? Can't really see, but I'm not tossing it. It's gonna stay for a bit. How are we doing? Yeah, we've gotten some before in other lives. It's been a while. Like I said, we just started doing nickels again, but yeah, we've gotten 3. I want to get some acid so we can put on there so the year would etch out because they're so worn out. I mean, they're completely just worn out. Whoops. But yeah. That's what they all look like pretty much. But we got these all from nickel hunts, so they're awesome to get. I'll tell you that. I like them. But we try to go for the older stuff's cool just because historical value, but we like to go for stuff not intended for circulation. So, but that stuff goes hand in hand. It's older. It was intended, but it's, you know, like still be finding it. 52. Oh, I know. I know. I've been illustrating that to everybody on here for a couple months now. Just like they want to make a new variant, or not a variant, but a new look on the nickel for next year. And then after that, that's when they're going to start trying to close it out. And they're going to work their way up. You ain't kidding there. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I like looking for airs, and I found my first official nickel. I mean, the first official air was a nickel. So, yeah, we like to really do nickels on here. We don't do them enough, so we're gonna be concentrating more on the other stuff like pennies and stuff. We just did our very first penny hunt on here. It was my very first one, and did it with y'all. So I don't undo any unrolls. Like I don't unroll stuff unless I'm on here with y'all. There's no I in team. Back to the good old dimers. I don't know if we're gonna find anything special with these guys, but it would be epic to get a new one. There you go. You know, the end of our penny hunt last week, in the last 4 rolls, we ended up getting like 6 wheat pennies. 2 of them being 41 proofs. Found a 1888 Indian head. Got about a dozen wheat pennies, shitload of proofs, but 2 41 wheat penny proofs. It was pretty epic. Gratitude. Save the manatees. Looking like a grease air of sorts. It's hard for you guys to see with that damn commie light, but we'll illustrate more better on it. Yeah, we found this in a penny roll. Had to get snagged off of somebody at the mint. Whoops. Jumper. Found a nice little old hoard of like foreign coins. I'm not gonna mix them with all the foreign coins that we found during our hunts, but anybody's interested, I think I'm gonna pull them out and lay them out tonight. Hi at the end of the live, look at them because I forgot all about him. My daughter was holding on to him. She gave him back to me because she knows we'd be working with a lot of coins on here. She's starting to get into it a little bit too because we go relic hunting. She found a 1912 Barber dime in the sand. We're not even out there with a metal detector. We're like looking for like old opium bottles and pop cans and shit, you know, from like 100 years ago. So like for her to find a 1912 Barber dime, I was like, wow. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're more than welcome. Got to have something to hold on to, and I'll tell you this right now, I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. It heightens and warms the spirits to hear you, to hear somebody say what you just said. That's why I be telling people, nothing gets in the way of progress. One hand washes the other, though. Like there's no I in team. Like that's why I tell you, wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. I wouldn't do it without y'all anyways. It's not how I work. Been a long time coming, but hey, slow and steady wins the race. I have a fascination with behaving. Because there's no room for error. You fall, you ain't getting up. Some people don't realize that. Wow, you want to tell somebody what to do on here, huh? Getting a little too big for your britches? Well, isn't that something? Maybe you need to go put some pressure on your back. You don't come on here telling people what to do. You do know that, right? You're really off to a bad start. Oh, yeah, it's true peace of mind. But look at this person on here trying to give people orders. I bet you can't even tell yourself what to do when you're in the mirror, huh? Huh, commie tripe? Isn't that something? Yeah, look at you. You only talk when hey. You're like a dog with two bones. You just couldn't help yourself. Oh, yeah, you can't sit and be a sick lurker. Nobody likes that. Yeah, nobody likes any of that. Ooh, another little buffalo. They're not the old buffalo nickels, but no, somebody collects them. Sorry, but zero tolerance with the bullshit around here, especially when we're allergic to it. It's not that hard to be on here and behave, so but it's so easy to do the wrong thing. So you can try that shit again. You want to slide down that sewer? Be my guest. But nobody's making you do it but yourself. Nice 62. Old schoolies. Yeah, I like the older ones. How we doing? Gratitude. Gratitude. $80 Denver. Liking the way that one's looking. A little worn out a bit. I'm liking that though. I'm liking the way it's looking. It could possibly be a big error. Because I'm seeing a lot of different anomalies going on here. Last one I had like this, we ended up reading, it was like a die clash. I'm going to yank out some of my errors so you guys can see, like, my very first error I found was a nickel. It got me hooked on errors. Yeah, not today, but yes. 2024s, all of them are guaranteed keeper because they got that real low mint run, under 10% of their average strike. You know, they averagely do about 400 million a year. Between Philly and Denver, it was under 40 million. So, yeah, I've been trying to illustrate that to everybody too, but we just started. This is the third roll of nickels, and We haven't got one yet, and it don't surprise me. But yeah, we catch them. And fuck, the one box we got, I think 2 dozen. Where when I come across, I'll tell you, they're all clean too. They fresher than a coat of wet paint. Last box we didn't. The box after that we did. It was weird. All right, we back to dimes. Hell yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'd keep them for sure because under 40 million is not a drop. That's not even a drop in a bucket. Those are a rarity just by default. No matter what anybody says. We're not the ones who minted very low run of them. Yeah, I ended up getting like 2 dozen out of 2 weeks ago in one box. Got about 2 dozen of them, which was a little surprising. It happens though. Oh, we keep every penny we get a hold of beginning with. Like I said, the box of pennies I got for us to do our first hunt, every single one of those pennies are being maintained. They're not going out. They're in captivity. And there you go. I never had any coins graded, but I'm gonna put a big pile for people to pick through, and then I've got a set of picks that I'm gonna do because, sorry, I'm trying to hone my craft when it comes to like airs and stuff like that. So I'm picking some random ones that it ain't no Hail Marys or nothing. But like I said, if they come back certified airs, then there is no arguing, and it ain't up for interpretation no more. Because I ain't got time for any of that shit. But you start to see something, you see something. That's all there is to it. I got that eye. There's a million different things to look for. When it comes to dimes, I'm going to have to really brushing up on my skills just because we don't do dimes a lot. Really, most of the time we looking for, proofs and strikes, but I know they have some other stuff going on. Well, good thing that that has nothing to do with why we're doing it. I don't care if it's 4,000 years. Your point being exactly what? That's common knowledge. But your point being what? That's what we need to know. Because you got to remember, you're the one saying this, not us. So this is either something you perceive to be a fact or just your opinion until everything in time reveals itself. Because I don't think you're somebody who runs your life off assumptions. Well, that's what I'm getting at. I don't think you should be doing that. People don't get too far doing that. It's all right to fucking gag around and roll the bones on here, but most people don't want any disinformation either. That's why if you ask me something I don't know nothing about, I'm going to say I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and just give you a whole bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo like static. Because what good is that going to do anybody? That does nobody anything. That'd be like you going to rub one out with a fucking cheese grater. Be in front of the ER. Nothing good's going to come of it. You see how that works? So for you to step up and go, yeah, I honestly don't know, that's you taking a step back too. You see that even exchange though, right? Because you started this. I'm a finisher by default. I don't go around doing goofy shit. So like, you can rectify the situation and get on with it, or you can keep going down that fucking suey slimer. You want to go down that slippery slope? That's all on you, man. Nobody's making you. You're not chained to an organ grinder. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. So you're not convincing any of us. You got to convince yourself. So maybe we should go look in the mirror? I don't know. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Honestly, you should keep anything to you that keeps you warm in your heart. You know, this ain't true currency. We created this. True currency is credibility, reputation, and leverage. So let's just get that the fuck out of the way right now. And we keep it in the chamber too, so there ain't no pounding about that. That's common knowledge, man. You and all of North Korea all are collecting that. We don't care about the have-is. We like the have-nots. Well, that's not my fucking problem. Even a broken clock's right twice a day, but that's what are you gonna do? That's the thing. What are you gonna do about it? Because it doesn't matter what. Yeah, since you were building it up so you could be whatever you wanted to be that it never became, build it up. I know you've been building up in your head for a while. I can tell. You're on your soapbox. Enlighten us. We're dull and coy around here. Give us a jolt to the system, huh? Oh, I know. Some of the rarest coins are still in Jimmy Hoffa's pocket. But what are you going to do about it? See, that's the fly in your ointment. You might have convinced the tin hat people, but here that shit don't work, bro. No traction. Not on this tarmac. Oh, yeah? Well, isn't that something? What are you going to do about it? I can tell you're all hot and bothered. I don't know what you let crawl up in your ass and die, but you are all hot and bothered about it. But that's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing. $84. Who's that? $84D. Trying to talk to an owl? Who? What? Nah, this ain't the fucking preserve. Don't come on here trying to cause waves that you can't handle. Don't open doors you can't handle. Suggesting you to keep some of your dignity. You know, there was no invention there. You know, there was no creation, so I can't give anybody an A for effort for any of that bullshit. You didn't try too hard. Hope somebody didn't make you practice that on a fucking flashcard, post, you know. God, this world. As the world turns. Nice dirty 80. Liking that dirty 80. Liking that dirty 80 for sure. Yeah. There we go. 89 Philly. Little grease there. To whom it concerns. To whoever it concerns. This is the thing. You know, 99.9% of people come on here. They know when anything is said by anybody. It only applies to the people who it applies to. So if you have to sit there and ponder, you got to be, you know what I'm saying? You can't leave unless you come in. So you pay. If you want to play, you got to pay. But the last thing you want to do is dilute yourself like a fucking chump. You know? Like, that's not what you want to do. I know I couldn't see myself hopping from live to live trying to be ignorant. I just couldn't do it. Or trying to be funny. Become a comedian, go to a nightclub. That's where you start out. Well, the herd tends to thin itself. Ooh, there's our first 24. Save the manatees. Yeah, there we go. Nice 24 there. Like I said, you gotta keep them. $76 little D. Denver done to that. 78. I mean, shit, we got more 26s than 24s last time. We didn't get none out of the box. At least we're at 1 right now. Nobody ever wants to give anybody the credit for that. I'm trying to find them ones, so just in case I can stack them up with them. Oh, it ain't it. Must have put them to grass somewhere. I think I did. They're somewhere around here. I'm just looking too hard, I guess. Mostly stuff not intended for circulation, like proofs and strikes and errors, but new ones, short print, you know, whatever floats the boat. For like dimes, same thing, but we'd like to get the new one. We've got everything else other than the other 3 variants of the quarter that hasn't been released yet because we haven't elapsed that time, but we're up to count with all that. So we would like to get the 26s. We need 2 for the book. $25. 23. Yeah, everybody's liking them. We haven't got one yet. Congrats. I got another dime, a box of dimes coming, but I don't know what'll be in it till we go through it. But we're gonna be concentrating on nickels probably for the week, just because a lot of people have been wanting nickels to come back, and it's like we always have fun with nickels anyways, and we always find some nice gob stompers. So gotta give everybody what they want. We've been hitting quarters and 50-cent pieces and dollar pieces, like, just ripping it up with our feet. So gotta do a little rotation. Can't give all your undivided attention to one singular coin. I'm slowly trying to find them nicks. Can never find anything that you're looking for though. That's them. I don't know. Those are like dimes. No, because I need to find it anyways to throw them 24s when I see them in there. They're probably right in front of me and I just don't see them. Usually how it works. If it was a snake, it would have bit us. Honestly, I do not know. I could pull out I have a coin book from 21, so anything from 22 up's not going to be in there, but obviously things don't change for what's already been in inception, so been integrated in since the inception of their making. So like I really couldn't tell you though, honestly. I really couldn't. With nickels, it's a little unique because you just have that one random year from a few years back. If there's anything else going on with them, I don't know when it was happening because I'm just not hip to it. Like I said, now just power. I don't know it at all. If I don't know it, I'm going to let you know. I do not know. I mean, they probably have one, but I don't know where it's at. I know they do West Points, but I've never even seen them either. $83 little P. Okay. Yeah, just trying to. Let me 1 second, guys. Maybe I can find something over here that's. Look at these. Yeah, these are from last time. From 2 boxes ago. This is how many we got of 24s. Yeah, these are all 24s. That's, you should not be getting that many of them. That is pretty decent. I gotta have that out to put the rest of these in. Whatever we got one now, but like I said, I always gotta have a lucky charm out. I can find them. Yeah, here we go. This is my very first air, guys. I'm gonna put it in the mic for you to see. They're very low mint run, under 40 million. Average run for Philadelphia and Denver is almost 400 million. So they did under 10% production. But yeah, this is my very first air, and this is what got me on airs. This is what got me starting to hunt for airs anywhere. But here, you guys can see. You know, double stamp cut off. But what's funny is, you know, there's more in a picture than meets the eye, guys. You know, from the back, you would not be able to tell it's an air. You would not be able to tell. It knows how to behave. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's good on one side and bad on the other. You can't have one without the other. That's how it is. That's how you find the air in the ways. But yeah, there ain't no getting around this. I don't have to have this certified. It'll get graded, but we all know that's an error. I don't care. I'm not here to argue anyways. I'm here to show you guys facts. Now, you know, I'm not going to misinform you, so. But yeah, that was my very first error, and that's what got me looking for errors of all, you know, all kinds, from every magnitude. But yeah, nickels are pretty fun to be looking for errors for. Ah, weird. That's what happens when the machines that are making them, that are minting them, don't behave. You gotta remember, they're made on a mass-produced scale. So, you know, you have quality control people that come over, and whether they're manning or not, they check it every 5-10 minutes. As long as there's nothing going on, it keeps going. But, you know, sometimes right when they walk away, it could start, you know, causing error. Something gets in between there, you know, during the bonding process. Too much heat, too much this, nylon, wood. I mean, there's a magnitude of things. Planchets wearing out. Die breaks, it's all sorts of things. It just doesn't stop. That's the essence about airs. And it's the butter. It's the bread and butter when it comes to coins, honestly. And, you know, like I said, it don't matter what anybody else wants to say. The proof's in the pudding, you know. Why don't you just go look? A lot of people get coins graded thinking it's one thing and it's really more than what it is. It's automatically certified. Then it goes and gets sold at a private auction. Well, there's reports of them. And, you know, there's no getting around that, you know. There's people out there that'll give an arm and a leg just for a coin, depending on how it looks and what it looks like, you know, and how rare it is. So, as long as there's an appetite for that, somebody's got to quench the thirst, and somebody needs to be properly illustrating. So, like I told you, this is somewhat new to me. Like, you know, this was all suggested to people on here, wanting me to do hunts on here live and then look for airs. So, you know, this was a long time coming, but people asked, you know, we got to give everybody what they want. Everybody's got a voice here as long as you know how to behave and make grade. If you're on here, you know, acting dumb and acting like a clown, play stupid games, win stupid prize. But other than that, I don't know. Like I said, if you're not doing it, that stuff don't apply to you. I couldn't tell you. People have bought them. That's the last thing that we're worried about. We're gonna be getting together a handful of coins, though. Let y'all randomly pick which ones you feel to get graded out of them, out of the ones that we have captured during our lives, during our hunts. And then I'm gonna pick a few, and then we're gonna see what happens. And everything in time will reveal itself. Because that's like the first thing you want to do if you got something decent, especially something that's very abnormal. Ends up being an error no matter what. You want to get it graded because they're going to certify that error. Which means, like I said, no more up for interpretation. There's no reason to ponder. Everyone keeping one in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is the thing. There's no such thing as a perfect coin. So that's why we have a thing we work to called perfection. Now look, this is an error big time. This is an error. It's a double or triple die. See the year? See the letters? Look at the year though. That motherfucker's double and it's bleeding. Just like this. It's a double. At least on the front it is. That's a guarantee. There's no getting around that shit. Come and stall you out like Repo. Come and stall you out like Debo. Come and take this shit like Repo. The back? Oh yeah. We got the same shit going on. You see it? So yeah, this is a total big pride and shoe. That one stuck out like a sore thumb to me, so I couldn't let it get away. But it's looking like a double, triple on both sides. At a bare minimum, a double, okay? Like I told you, it's a double die. You can't see that's been double stamped, maybe even triple. I've done showed you the characteristics of it. And sometimes it happens on one side of the coin, sometimes it happens on the other, but like you can see. And then right here, look at the letters. You see how it's like, you can tell it's been doubled too. You can't see how it's like trying to bleed too. Like those are clear indicators. How you can just see how the letters and numbers are bigger. The mint mark. I mean, that's not coincidental. That's not something we did. That's something that the machine did during the mintage. That wasn't done post-mintage. That's an error for sure. I bet vital parts of my anatomy on that. It's from being done, you know, like when it goes down the planche, you know, hit it. It does it again. Sometimes it does it 2-3 times. And you can tell, like I said, this ain't something that I created in some laboratory, you know. This was going on before we were born. It'll be going on after. So, well, like I said, you know, there's a lot of things that you'd come across that would make you feel, oh, it's a fake coin. Like finding a nickel. The front's perfect, but you look on the back, you know, you've got a dime or a penny adverse planched on it. You have a lot of that weird shit going on. There's a magnitude of things at a geometrical rate that can happen and does happen. So the sky's the limit. And with errors, they get past that big time. It's okay. Happy you came on. Welcome to the channel. Have a good night. Or should I say good morning? Yet again, here we go. We got a double with this one. At least with the letters, if you can tell. You can see the extra outlining on them when that happens. And then the lines. Whenever you can see like those extra etchings and you know how you know it almost looks 2D, that's from that happening. If you look on here, like I told you, you see that? You can tell that it's been double whacked. You can see the lines. Etching right there where it was fucking bleeding off a little bit. It's another nice one. It's not as crazy as the other one, but it's in better shape. That's for sure. God, that 8 before it was worn out looked like it got hit twice. Yeah, I got hit with the tantalizer. Yeah. You got the right idea, man. You've got the right idea. You're on the right path. No, you are. The thing is, there's more errors to be looking for than I would even know. Like I said, sometimes you come across something that's non-existent until you find it. But you know, when you send it to grading company, there's certain ones that specialize in looking for errors. They certify. There is no pondering about it anymore. It don't matter what anybody says. They really don't. You could show it to them, grade it. It don't matter if they tell you it's fake. They're telling themselves that. Because they're the argument, and that's not to be stuck up to you. It's now they got to go to the grading company because they're the ones who certified it. And that's not, you know, that's what makes me laugh. Because you got people who are that bored with life that would. Well, go ahead. But time don't wait for nobody. So while you're fucking fighting, you know, shoveling shit against the wind, trying to fight over something you have no control over and people specialize in, you know, what are you going to have to show for in the end? Unless it's all in your fucking mind. That's what I want to know. Other than that, it's like, man, if it ain't broke, we're not fixing it. Like, get off your soapbox. Like, been up against worse for less in this existence we call our lives. You know, you can't have a little fun doing treasuring, you know, cherishing the small things that we do. Like, this is something that I'm very passionate in. It's not about, you know, it's about what we find. You know, it pays to discover. I'm not talking MasterCard. But this is something we all get along doing. We all coincide in harmony doing this. Nobody's going to come on here trying to act a fool or causing waves. It's not going to happen. Wow. That 2011 or something? Wow. Too much McKillicuddies. He's a little green around the gills. I can't even see the other mint mark. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but it looks like some errors. Like he's got die cuts all over him, but who am I? I'll let you know. You're going to hear that anytime that I see certain things, but I'm no expert. That's why they go to the expert. It's endless. That's why I said that part of the repertoire for coins, the sky's the limit, and you go way past that. Like, it doesn't stop. You know, when it comes to any other aspect of a coin, it's very limited. Very limited. No, it's just how it's been and just how it works. Like, we don't know why he's all torn and tattered, but guess what? We'll find out what his malfunction is. He ain't all bad, but like I said, I'll show you guys some other errors too, and like I said, certain things you should look for. Oh, you're being nice about it, you know, saying it's crazy. Now, it's honestly, it's to your advantage if you're looking for errors. You got to embrace it though. You can't extort it. You know, you got a lot of people that, you know, they don't appreciate it for what it is. Me, I like to share with the world because there's no reason to be selfish and self-centered. That's why I do this with y'all on here, like, as I want to share what I'm passionate about doing, and I know there's other people that I have this in common with, so I wouldn't have it any other way. But here, I'm going to give you a perfect example of, like, the type of stuff that goes on there. Here's another one. Guarantee going to be certified as an error. A lot of people would assume, oh, somebody did that themselves post-mintage. No. Because this is what you call a compound error. There's at least 4 or 5 different types of errors going on in this coin. At least. At least. At a bare minimum. At a bare minimum. So I'll let you guys take a gander at that. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 things that I see that are guaranteed errors on it. One of them being an adverse die clash coming in right here, which is epic in its own nature. It being a double die, possibly a triple die, punch planchet error, die breaks, couple other things. But like I said, that's 3, 4 right off the bat. And like I said, if you look at the back's pretty decent too. It's got the same damn thing going on. There's a lot of, that's not done post mintage. Totally a doubler though. Totally a double. Well, you see them lines? You see them lines going through? Well, never say never. First time for everything, and here it is for you. This is one that's going to be getting graded for sure, but like I said, you got a bit of a die clash reverse coming in right here, which is really epic. Really, really epic. Just like if you ever find a coin that looks like this, but let's say this ain't repunched and it's cut off and it looks like a fucking moon, don't assume somebody did that. A lot of times that's done at the mint. Take the chance. If you don't try, you'll never know. The worst thing you could do is assume that it's not what it perceives to be. I mean, you'd be very surprised, guys. Very, very surprised. And if you really want some killer knowledge, yeah, if you really want some killer knowledge, they do tours. They do tours at the mint. Where you go through. I've even seen airs like this certified and sold at auctions. But they were a lot cleaner, and this is probably post mintage, but I'm going to show you guys another air called a sanding air here soon with a nickel. And and like I said, it's not hard. Like you go and you find ones that are fucking already graded and certified, but like, and they're sold at auctions. You know, that's like one good indicator. Another one is you go into a pawn shop. You know the person works with airs. Take them to him, see what he says. Not that you're trying to get rid of them, but if they're airs, you should go get them certified. Go get them graded. There's about 8 gazillion different things that could happen during the minting process. I'll show you guys all sorts of crazy airs if you want when we're done doing our... I averagely do like an hour to 2 hours a day. Or whenever I can. Sometimes I'll fill in 3-4 hours. But like, I've been really beating the payment with your guys on here. So I try to get on when I can. There's too much stuff to be done and not enough time. So I do my best. Just like, when we were doing pennies. You know how Lincoln looks this way, right? He's got his mint mark here. We found one that had a mint mark there and a mint mark right up here. So there's two mint marks on the coin. Can show you that too. Like we find some really crazy stuff. Found one where he's got an extra pile of fucking hair on his head. It looks like a fucking pile of shit. Big time error. How we doing? Yeah, or sometimes like right at the end when they're doing the the bonding and the cladding, they can sometimes forget a layer of clad like the machine does, or it doesn't have it to produce, and it goes through. That's another thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that's another when it comes to bicentennials of any sort, highly sought out by collectors, especially heirs. From small to big. Just so you guys know. But yeah, I want to get a group of coins together, and I want you guys, give you guys a week poll on the post. Which ones you want graded? Just pick which ones, and whoever has the most votes on which ones will get picked. And I'm gonna pick a few, and then they're all gonna get sent in, and we're gonna see what happens. But it'll be a good experience for us all. Like I said, first time for everything. My favorite are toner errors. So I'm really skeptical and I'm really skeptical and a little anxious about sending in some toners because some of them might not be errors. Some of them might be. Oh yeah, I can't get around it. I cannot get around it. And I don't care if half the errors I grabbed or half the ones I perceive to be errors ain't. Until you send them in and get them back, you're really not going to know. Unless you've dealt with coins, longer than anything else. But We said we're gonna do what we got to do. I actually have an old one of these. It's either a 38 or a 48, and it's a toner. Yeah, it's a silver toner. Oh. Yeah, here in a couple rolls, I'm gonna pull out a nickel, a sanding error nickel. And that's done during the bonding process. Could come down to make it smooth. It stays down too long. It's going too fast. Hold on here. What the hell? I was about to say, don't be pulling that weird shit. The hell going on with you? Hell no, it's Ash Wednesday with the grease error. And he's got a lot of die cracks going down his nose, like they'd made a staircase. And yeah, they did him dirty. They did him real dirty. Oh, that's just ain't nothing special. 62. $63. Take a look at them old ones. Haven't got no 30s or 40s yet, but we did last time. We got a lot of them. 57. Suppress your feelings and you go through the ceiling straight to heaven. Ooh. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening there in the middle of Monticello. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's totally... Yeah, you see that in the middle? And it's double. Look at the C here. That's a big C. Jeez. I've never seen it try to be so big in my life. It's actually trying to stand up to become something. It really wants to be someone. And then you got hit, and you should have known better. Scared. Watch where you been. All right, after this one, I'm gonna flop out a sanding error for y'all. It's a nickel. I've got sanding errors pretty much in every denomination they have that they make in coins. So, but yeah, my favorite are the toners. We can do that too. I want to somewhat get the most of the hunt out of the way before we get stuck on that though, because it's easy to get rerouted when we're doing this. Like I'm telling you, get it from all angles. Full Blitzkrieg. You know, they just had a really crazy error pop up like a mushroom. It was like a 1965 or 75 dime. Silver though, because it was minted on a fucking silver planchet. Well, they don't make silver dimes in that year, so it's extremely unicorn rare. Dirty 87. 2 in the head means 1 in the bush. Don't know what happened to him, but we'll figure it out. The hell's going on here? Oh, that they didn't look like 2000 to me when I seen them. I'm like, what the fuck? This one looks like it was doubled up too. I'm seeing a lot of oh yeah, big time. Little die crack in the holder there. No, no, maybe not. We'll keep that up to the side though. Hey, must be the fillet. What? What the hell? Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the type of shit that they don't. That's not something that they did or like premeditated. That shit's done on accident, and sometimes they don't even know they did it for a while because like certain things happen, but like it goes out and nobody's noticing it because it's not something that happened in like a massive. So like it makes it very very epic in its own right. It commands presence and respect, and a big premium. That's why stuff like that needs to go to get graded because they're gonna be able to tell you right then and there, and it's gonna be right on the thing. Yeah, this is a massive error, and that's just one of like 800 trillion things that can happen to coins at any time. You gotta remember, we made coins for Panama after the war to help them get back on their feet, and there's times where you see a quarter or 50 cent piece, you flip it over to other part, fucking Panama on behalf of the United States. Like, now I've pulled a lot of Panama coins. Crazy stuff. No, you can't fake it. And anybody who claims it is, they're fucked in the head. Deluded illusions of grandeur and glory. This is a nice one. You could totally tell this was a doubler. Big time. Maybe even triple. There ain't no getting around it, though. Gotta like them. And you can tell right here. Look at the bottom, how it's like bleeding out a little bit. That's another clear indicator. Almost like that smudge effect. Sorry, for some people, these are very special coins. Yeah, this is a big keeper. I think there's more going on here than I can even see. There's more to the picture than meets the naked eye. Now, there are people who try to claim or try to, like, the mint is seeing crazy stuff. The grading companies have seen crazy stuff. People trying to bond two coins together. Like I said, you could go ahead and play your Frankenstein game, but they're going to know whether it happened, post mint or it actually happened, while it was being minted. They're going to know. It's not worth doing all that bullshit for. You want to know the thrill of the hunt is looking for them because you never know what's going to happen. Pop up like a mushroom. It's honestly fun looking for errors. Once you start getting the fundamentals of it, there's no turning back. Especially if you're passionate about it and you like what you're doing. But literally, the sky is the limit. Like, we cannot count how many type of errors can be performed or, can actually happen. There's an 80. It's not as bad as the other one, but yeah, it's not as evident, but we'll have to put off to the side. I like to do comparison. I like to get like a clean dime and put it right next to it. That's how you want to start. And what I did when I started doing it on here, I'd have a lot of my mods, whenever they'd be on, I'd call them out. I'd have them call me out on it. I'd flat out tell them, call me out on it. Like, stop me when you see a coin, put it out, and you go, what did you see? And God forbid if I was going to say talk something out of my ass, I'm going to find out real quick. That's why I didn't do it. If I didn't know, I didn't know. But when I was starting to spot it on my own, it was second nature. That's a good thing. I'd almost want to call him the Scarface. Yeah, this is somewhat of a cleaner coin. The back, though, double die reverse. I can see some mint clash. With die clash. Some die clashing and break. A little bit of time, just a little bit. When you see die break, it almost looks like an earthquake, like tectonic plates like shifting and like a crack going through it, like on the ground. But on the coin, those are really sought after too. But you can see that's a double die reverse. And case in point, let's pull a clean dime if we can find it. Like I told you, this is how you can do the comparison so you can start critiquing on your own, or you can do it this very second with me. You can tell it's an error. You can tell now. If you can't, then don't be looking for errors, because if you can't tell that this is an error compared to your error, then you're either looking too hard, or you ain't got your x-ray specs on, or you're just ignorant with the ways. But you can see how this is a double die reverse, right? Maybe even a triple compared to your average. You guys, like, you see the little die clashes right here on the fire instead of the graphics the way it's supposed to be. You see how these are fatter and filled in, and you don't see the details? Those are all clear indicator. I didn't give it anthoplasty, okay? I didn't give it anthoplasty, so don't think I gave it a fucking facelift or something. That's not what happened here. Yeah. And that's the type of stuff you got to look for, and there's nothing wrong with going through your coins again and again, vet them. There's times where you're going to go through shit and you're not going to see something that first time. The second time you will, though, because you were either looking at it's almost like with a movie. When you watch a movie for the first time, I remember, you go to watch it the second time and you're seeing stuff you didn't see in the first part, even though you know the movie to a T. It's second nature. It's like, your reflexes are coming back. You got to start beating the pavement. But yeah, this could even be a triple. And they have them. I mean, there's times where it does it a gazillion fucking times. But yeah, this is totally at a bare minimum, a double. Sorry, guys. A double die. Reverse. At a bare min. And like I said, take a picture, get right with you. This is a compound one. There's more than just that going on, but to our eyes, yeah. So don't be afraid. Like, do not be afraid. Don't have any doubt. Doubt is the true enemy, guys. Time and patience is the true counter. Nothing good comes of rushing or forcing anything. So there's nothing to take your time with them. Like, that's one thing that you're going to have to separate too. Especially if you're doing it like this. Some people want you to rush through this shit. There's no rushing. Nothing, you know. I mean, you want to go through the coins and be like, yeah, this and that, that's fine. But I guarantee you go through them again, or somebody else does, you're going to find something. You know, case in fact, why we always go through our coins again is because, like, when we're doing bat hunting, you know, with the quarters, you know, sometimes we'll miss West points. And we go back through here and we'll find them. You know, last time that happened, we almost hit the record for most West points found in a hunt. And that's 4. Well, we had 3. Well, when we went through them again, we found a 4th one. And you want to know what was cool about it? It just wasn't the 4th West Point that was going to get tossed. It was a silver-clad West Point. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. And those are totally not made for circulation. And when it comes to West Points, they only, for the quarters, they only made them 2 years, 2019 and 2020. Oh! Look, guys. We got our first proof on the nickel. Yep, got our first proof. Save the manatees! Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. 1970 proof. He a little worn out, but guess what? He made it through. Yep. He made it through. I know he ain't looking like these proofs in Business Strikes, but it don't matter. That's what he did look like. That's number 1 for us, guys, though. If anybody's pondering about this, your 99% of your proofs in Business Strikes will be minted out of San Francisco unless told otherwise. So you got that S mint mark, you have a proof. Proofs and Business Strikes are exclusively not made for circulation. They are NIFCs. Was never made for mass production, was never put in circulation with the Phillies and Denvers. But it doesn't stop them from finding their way there. You know, when we did our last hunt, the very first coin, it was an ender on the first roll. And like I said, you can't judge a book by its cover, guys. I'm going to show you one that you would never assume. Like this. This is a 41 proof. Yeah, this is a 41 proof. And I know it don't look like what a proof would look like, guys. But that's irrelevant. You know? All of our beautiful ones, you know, they're shining and blinding at the same time. You know? But that doesn't stop this. That's exactly what this was. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's really hard to believe, but you see that S mint mark right there? Right next to Monticello? That seals the deal, so it don't matter whether you think I pulled it off the bottom of my shoe with some dog shit, or I found it stuck with gum in between the fucking cracks on 63rd Street. It's a proof. More punch in a bowl of juice. If you don't like it, take it up with the mint. But those are the bone crushers. These are the bone crushers. I don't care what anyone says. There's more to the picture than meets the eye. Oh, shit. What we got going on here? Oh, that's just an 88 dented on. After this, and I'm going to do another roll of nickels, then I'm going to show you guys a sanding error. The hell? Yeah, sometimes when you be looking at coins, you can see the other side starting to come out on it. And sometimes you can read it. That's what you call a die clash. When you can actually see etching of the other part of the coin, or like here, you see right there? If you look at this good enough, you can see what I'm talking about. I don't want you to grow a tumor or strain your eye and get a sty. But this is a double, and it's a little bit of a die clash. It's got some weird stuff going on here. It's not, you know, it's not a champion absent Wheaties, but it's enough to make it get through. You see his nose? You see all that? Yeah, those are little die cracks. Hey, I want to ask anybody that's on here, what would you do if somebody you knew called you and goes, hey, I've got vipers for sale, turtles, scorpions, you know, just things you shouldn't have and things that there's no room for error. If you don't know how to behave, it'll make you fucking behave when you fucking go away. Your head will roll away. Now I just hear him. He's like, I got vipers, I got cobras. I'm like thinking in my mind, where the fuck did you get this? I know that you ain't got no. Like I didn't say that to him, but I'm thinking that in my head. Like, you're not playing. You're not playing straight right now, are you? I said you fucking need your fucking clock clean, don't you? Now I'm like, wow. What do you not have? All right, we're going to do this thing of dimes, and then I'm going to show you the sanding area. Then we're going to keep going a little bit. Mysteries abound. Hope you ate your vegetables. Wow. God, he looked like stir-fried shit. I'm liking it, though. I'm liking it. Oh, I am. Oh, yeah. I don't care if it ain't special or not. To me, it is. I'm liking it. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. It's not about what years. You don't get to control what years they did it. It's whether it's there or not. Like most people didn't even know they existed until they come across it. And then they really don't know what's going on until it gets to a grading company. So unless it's like a common error, that's all left for Ooh, what the hell we got going on here? Oh, I was about to say, don't tell me that's something I couldn't see it really. You end up coming across an epic error and you get it certified. It's going to be worth something. What'll end up happening is if you got something really nice, they're going to ask you to see if you'd sell it at auction, at a private auction. On your behalf, obviously. They'll take a piece, but, you'll be known for, unearthing and bringing it out of internal slumber. I would keep all your old pennies. I would keep every penny that you come across, honestly. I'd keep every penny. No, because there's more errors in there than people give them credit for. So, if you're really about coins and you're a real coin enthusiast, then you'd love pennies. If you don't care about pennies, you're really not about coins because it all started with the penny. Well, I'm not going to say it all started with it, but the penny is pretty much a backbone. Wow, this one's messed up. Could be post-mintage. He's all tore up, but I like it. He got some gashes here. Like, I've got a quarter that doesn't have a fucking mint mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was another nice one I come across, too. I could show y'all. That one's going for sure. I got a bicentennial double die clad air. That's going to be going in. And what am I going to do? There's nothing I'm going to do but keep what I got. I'm not the mover of mountains. Damn, that's a toner. I can't even see the fucking year on that. That's a toner, though. 72, maybe? Maybe? Hold on here. $73? Oh, I don't know. It's going out to the side, though. That's for sure. Yeah, we found some really nice wheat pennies when I hunt. Some wheat penny proofs too. Back to back. 44s, 44 proofs. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get a whole mintage set. We ended up getting a Denver too, 44. This one's a little bit of a double. You guys can easily see what I'm talking about yet again. See the die breaks above the B, where it almost looks like it's what the letters are welded in. See those little lines? Yeah, that right there is a good clear indicator. See them messes? See how fat and sliggly and sloppy and slimy the messes are and shit? The A and the M. Look at that A right here. Compared to that one. You see how fucking fat and droopled over it is? Yeah, there's no getting around that shit. Another nice one. Another nice one. 2018. Okay, so we found some air so far. What was that? A 70 proof with the nickels. All right, guys. I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna move these guys up here a little bit. I'm gonna get these other two airs that I showed you, just so you guys can take another gander. But I'm about to show you a sanding air. And this was done, like I said, while it's being minted. Where's that little bastard at? Just thought I had it out for y'all. Can't be keeping it too sick. Where's you at? Oh, really? Well, where could you have went? Well, I'm gonna find it somewhere. Yeah, I got this one right in front of me. This is a sanding air, but this is a dime. A dime. This is a compound air, though. Now, a lot of people can mistake certain ones for drier, like drum coins, where a coin gets stuck between like a dryer and the electric motor of it or something. I've seen a lot of that. Those are not going to get certified. It'll come back like you have an ordinary coin. But this is what like one would look like. Now, I've had them in different denominations. Like I said, I don't know where the hell. I just had that nickel to show y'all, but like I said, we got a lot of different stuff going on, so I just waved it down. This is a grease air, a minor grease air. This one, You see stuff like that. That's not coming off the coin. That got trapped in there during the bonding process. Oh, here we go, guys. Yeah, this one's going to get graded too. This is a sanding error for the nickels. Almost makes it look like a disc. Yeah, that totally wasn't human. So if you ever come across something like this, you'd ponder with regret if you just tossed it. Seen plenty of these get certified and sell too. Maybe they had a lot more going on with them. Maybe they didn't. And you see what I'm getting at with the whole... It looks like somebody might have, but they didn't. There's certain things that happen. Like I said, I'm no master expert, but I'm no fucking dollar tripe when it comes to it. We'll find out, probably and true. I'll tell you this: I can't stop anybody from their own, you know, what they think. I want to get this graded too. Found this son of a gun. Barber nickel. My daughter just found a 1912 Barber dime when we were out relic hunting. But this Barber nickel I found a long time ago. I'm bringing it out just because of nickel, but yeah. I love the old Barbers. Yeah, they're already making them in mass production. The dollar coin that he's on, and it will be coming out. And he's also trying to implement into new. He's going to have to change federal law if they pass it, but he's made a $250 bill with his mugshot on it too. But you know, we had a law where we stopped all that back in the day, because back in the day we had $500 bills, $1,000 bills, 5K, 10K, 100K. That shit got shut down real quick. Highly collector items, illegal to have if you're not collecting. You can try to spend it, it'd be stupid. But yeah, if it passes, he'll be trying to pump them out, but he'll have to change things to bring it in. But yeah, those coins are already being made for circulation and stuff. I don't think it's going to be exclusively an NIFC. But yeah, anything old that you got, you should try to get graded. If it looks like this, keep it that way. Don't clean it. You'll take away anything it has. This is its luster, just so you guys know. Don't care what you think. This is you clean it, you're hurting it. I mean, you can clean it if you want, but just don't get mad when somebody asks you, "Did you clean that?" And then they're gonna look at you and start shaking their head, prostrated with grief. If you don't know, now you know. All right, we back on our nicks. After we get to 2 hours, guys, I'm going to show you guys some quarter errors. Yeah, those Trump coins are coming out. They're being mass produced as we speak. $59. If that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. They're going to have to live with what they do. In for a penny, in for a pound. No risk, no reward. You want to play, you got to pay. That totally looks post. It totally looks post. But I've seen some real grinders. You never know. I'll hold on. I'll hold on and see what happens here. Or let's say you find ones and they're missing like a word, or like the whole thing, and it's still there. Yeah, you got yourself a nice gobstopper. Like I said, there's 8 trillion different things that could happen. Ooh, what the hell's he got going on over there? $47, beautiful. Save the manatees. Yeah. Gotta love them 47s. Up the river. Whoops. Oh, I bet you they were scrambling and scraping for something. That's totally looking post-mintage. But God, there you can see a lot of weirdness. Like I said, sometimes there's more to the picture than meets the naked eye. Endangered species list. That's all there is to it. Too much Colgate. Calcify the brain. Stand away. Whoop, we got a jumper. Let's see what we got here. Oops. Oh. Another jumper. Wow. I have to toss them all out right here. Fuck it. They're going one way or the other. Ooh, we got a baby toner. Big time doubler. Maybe even a tripler. See that? You see that? That's a triple. It looks like that looks like a triple die. I'm telling you it's a double, but totally a die. Double die. Oh, they doubled down on this one. It don't matter if he all green around the gills. He in the floor to hold on. That's all that matters. But you can just see it. Big time. Oh, yeah. It's going down like the fucking Titanic, absent iceberg. Same on the back. We got a lot of it on the back. And it's green around the gills, too. It's looking party. Stand and deliver. Make it shiver when I pull it out that quiver. Wow, that's looking like a... I might have to put that off to the side. 67. Fucking flopper. I have to check that one out too. Ooh, nice toner, guys. Now look, when it comes to somebody's being toning, if they come back as a toning error, they'll go quick. A little bit on the end, but look at that. Now, this could either be a toning error, and from oxidization to the coin, which is when air hits it, it causes this unstable mutation because it's either missing a layer, too much of a layer clad, you know, a magnitude of things. But very pretty. Let's check it under the X-ray specs. It looks like stir-fried shit under that. You really can't get it for what it is, but it's a 97 Denver Duntonite. But yeah, I'm telling you, I think this is a triple. Double part, maybe. There's a lot of things could be going on that I don't even know about, but we're going to keep it. Ooh. Now look, we found another one like this yesterday. You see how it looks like it's shiny and it's shooting light everywhere, radiating all around it? See how this is all like glazed, lasered, laying sappy? This is an error, I believe. If you look over here, you can actually see lettering shooting off of the other words. If you're looking good enough. I don't want you to grow a tumor. That's the last thing I want. But keep your finger on the pulse. Pay attention. You see the back? You see how ooshy moosh the whole thing is? See how you still see that radiation going through? How it's like emitting all in between? All through the nooks and crannies? See why I'm saying this is like maybe a double or a triple? You don't even got a hole in the A anymore. You can't even call it an asshole. Asshole's got a hole. Might as well call it a colostomy bag. But see how you can't... See how all this is filled in? All the little grave details? You can't even see the grooves and the threads on the pummel of the torch? Okay. Yeah, to me, this is another nice one. A filled in P? Yeah. 82? Oh, yeah, that's a fact from the Falcons. Oh, we got another jumper. See how this one, you can see the grooves on the pummel of the thread? You couldn't see it at all in that other one. It was just all osh gosh magash hush. All right, roll nickel, then we up. Be back on later today, see what happens. Oh, we might as well get these guys out of the way. I don't know what they're doing here. Better watch them. Oh, yeah, we totally got to keep that one. All right, guys. Mysteries abound. Ooh, nice ender. A 39er. Ooh, the 39er. Yeah. Always love the old skis. Always love the old skis. Ooh, it's a 39 proof, guys. Save the manatees. That just beat our fucking record. Last hunt, we got a 41 proof. I showed you guys that one right here. And it was an ender on that one, too. Look. 41. Now we just beat it. 39 proof, baby. Save the manatees. Yeah. Ain't no getting around that shit. Not intended for circulation, guys. Not intended for circulation, okay? What? You will behave. Oh, yes. That's what's up, guys. That's why we do this. Nobody can take it away from you. I wasn't expecting that son of a bitch to be a proof, but yeah. '92 Philly. Looking pretty torn up. Okay, you see that right there? That right there makes me think it's an air. But I'm not A. I'm no Spotnik. We got some doubling. Look, see the S right here? Look how it was done and then stamped again. This is totally a big time error. You see that with the S? That's the simple little things that Separate it from fact to fiction. Look at that S. That Liberty's looking fat, ain't it? I'm going to put it off to the side. We'll compare it. Maybe it's just me. Here, perfect. We'll line them up. You guys will see what I'm seeing, what I'm seeing. Here's our normal one, guys, right? Look at the Liberty there. Look how fat it is. Look at how thin the number. Look at the numbers over here. Look how fat they are and glazed over. Like fucking gluttons. Look at the W here. Look at the W there. Completely different. See what I'm saying? Gotta learn to make it behave. Ooh, a 42. Ooh. Liking it, though. We just got a 39 proof, so we beat our fucking... We beat our record on the oldest proof we found so far in nickel hunts. We're at a 39. Gotta love them 42s. Now, just so you guys do know, I gotta illustrate this to you. The last 4 years of World War II, they needed nickel more than they needed silver for the war effort. So for the last 4 years, they made wartime nickels too, along with normal circulation strikes, but they did it because they had to pull out. They pulled out 35% of the nickel that was in your standard nickels, and they filled it with silver. So there's war nickels that you can find, and I'm going to show you what those look like too. So if you don't know about it, you know now. Your mother must have fed you paint chips as a child, huh? Yeah, your mother fed you some paint chips as a child. Think she got mad and disappointed when you followed in the fire and you rolled out of it. All right, the last 4 years. So it would be like 42, 40, or 43, 42, 43, 44, 45. They'll have a different look to them, guys. A big time different look. They'll be darker. But what you got to look for is this on the back. A mint mark above Monticello. With the third, you see the P, 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 S, P. Yeah, you find them like that, you got yourself a wartime nickel. Those are very epic in their own nature, just so you do know. Yeah, I took a poll. Nobody likes your blowjob comments. I think people hiding behind screens like you doing that is cowardness. Nobody likes it. Nobody. I think you just deluded yourself like an idiot coming on here, having nothing to show for wasting no time that you can't get back. Why don't you go snatch a purse? Go blow your nose. Like I said, the coins will be going through again, but sometimes you want to go through them, you want to look. And there's nothing wrong with how slow you go through them. You'll go through them one time. Like I said, you won't see certain things you might see a second time. Oh! Oh, guys, look it! I told you it happens. Look at this. Old ski. Is this a Mercury? Oh, Lord. Oh, look at that air. Look at the air. A 42. Holy shit. They were still making Mercury dimes in 42? Ooh. Look at that air, though. That's what we're looking at. Look at that air in the middle. God, this is a healthy Mercury dime, though. 1942. Let's see, yeah, you see that circle, guys? You see that circle right here? That is an error done while it's being minted. Now, mind me, this is the type of stuff that you have to be ready for if it does happen or does not happen. You just never know what's going to happen when you're going through coins. Where's that book at? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Now that's nice. That's nice. We were just talking about 42 war nickels. And what do we pull? Okay, let's get to our dimes. Winged Liberty or Mercuries. They were made from 1916 to 1945. So they stopped making them at the end of World War II. The mint mark, I believe, would be on the back. If it does have one. Let's see here. I'm thinking it might have been a Denver. It's supposed to be right here. It's supposed to be. We're going to look up 42s. No, I just want to see how many were okay, so they had 42 they had regular 42s, they had 42 Denvers. And they had an error, they had an evident error. The stamp the year 42 over 41. Those are high end. I'm not saying this is one of those. I can't say it's one of them. Obviously, it'll show you right here. Like, that's what it'd be looking like if it was like that. But, so I'd have to say it's an average. It's either a regular 42 or it's a 42 Denver. I don't know. I can't tell you if it's a proof or not because I can't see the mint mark. The mint mark's missing. But this little circle right here, that is an error. That was done during that's not something that somebody did. This one's totally got to go in. Like, we see this all the time. That's done during, during the end process, the bonding process. That's crazy, though. Wasn't expecting to find this. I can show you some Mercury dimes I have that we didn't find together. And you're not going to see any of that goofy circleness going on. But, yeah, we just popped this out of a roll of dimes, and
It's all right. I like that it's an air. I'm not really worried about the silver. We're not a silver hunting channel. We're just not. There's more in life than just silver. There's no reason to be a simple silent and Sally. But yeah, it having that circle around, I'm guaranteeing that for sure is an error. Not a big one, but for an old one, I like the back. The back is looking nice and healthy. If there was a mint mark, it would have been right there. But yeah, wasn't expecting this out of this, guys. It was excellent. We're right at the end of our hunt. We hit that. It builds with the errors. It builds. It's totally going to be going in. We're going to see what happens. Let's keep going, though. That was nice. How we doing, guys? You're glad I'm still here? Go figure. Here we go. We got another error. Big time. Double die adverse. And reverse. Big time. The whole rig. The whole rig on it. Well, if it keeps you warm at night, well, if it ain't broke, we ain't fixing it. You'll be okay. But yeah, we got another nice one right here. Another nice one. Big time. Nice 66 there. Oh yeah. It wants to be born again, like the water leopards. Oh, well, here I am, man. You know how it is with me. Sometimes I say I'm going to do it, and before you know it, I lose the concept of time. It's almost like defining gravity. I almost thought dimes were a little too dull, but we're finding some decent stuff in here. I can't wait to get some of this stuff together. Let you guys pick what you would like to go get sent in to get graded. Ooh, think we got another nice air coming up. Don't ever pass these up, man. Ho ho! What's got you all hot and bothered? 1978. It ain't a 42 Mercury, but it don't matter. It's a little green around the gills. I told you, too much of that McKillicuddy's. Got you hugging the floor to hold on. Oh yeah, it's a keeper for sure. Possibly a radar detector find. Possibly. Don't hold my feet to the fire. See that line down his head? It's not supposed to be there. It almost looks like he's surgery. Right there. I'm thinking that might be in there, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't want to sit there because you see, it's almost like the same thing here. We know that's an error. We found this bad bitch. You see that was done during the mintage. That some bitch is going in though. It's going in. I ain't got a healthier one like that. All mine are worn out like doorknobs. Everybody got a turn. Don't worry, and I'll stay on a little bit longer so you can fill it, so you can get your licks in too. The last thing I do is want anybody when I show go, damn, I didn't get enough time on there. Been on for almost a half hour over normal, but it's not a hanging offense, so I think everybody cool. While you're gone, we found a 39 proof on a nickel. And then we found this Air Mercury dime, 42. Okay, guys, here, I want to show you. These are simple error. Die break, right here. You can find that anywhere. You see them little, it look like a zipper. What matters is that you're here now. You're still part of it. Nobody can take it away from you. That's why I do this with everybody, because everybody that's involved, we all found it together. You're quite welcome. Gratitude. Yeah. Oh, nice little toner happening here. But yeah, I'm gonna open a couple more rolls, and then I'm gonna show you guys some other errors or, whatever might be going on. Some people wanted to see some toners. Those are some of my favorite ones. But like I said, I'm gonna be putting together a group of coins. I'm gonna give you guys a week to pick which ones you want graded out of them. They'll all be ones that we pulled on the hunts together, and we're just gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna have a few I'm gonna grade on my own, and we're gonna roll the bones and watch what happens. Everything in time will reveal itself. Nice to meet you, Wanda. Welcome to the channel. We've only found 124 when it comes to the nickels. That's how I told you how rare they are, because they're very short print run for their circulation strikes. Under 40 million. Average between Philly and Denver is 400 million. $66. Looks like a 1996 Philly, maybe? Mint mark's messed up. Real bad. It's looking like a double die. At least on the front. The back about 100% sure about. Oh, it's a Denver. Looks like a 96. Uh-oh. $19.93. It's looking a little coy. I can't give no reassurances, but I'd toss it off to the side. Leave for speculation. But yeah, guys, can't believe that we found this earlier. Where was it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That's not it. That's not it. We're looking for that there. Right here, guys. Last hunt, we found this 41 proof as an ender. Now, I know it doesn't look beautiful like the proofs over here in the book, but, you know, certifies if it's out of San Francisco. So it don't matter if it don't look like these guys. You know? It used to look like him. They used to look like them. So don't judge books by their cover. You know? Just don't do it. You'll hurt yourself. Now we're going to go to this 39. What is it? 38 or 39? It's a 39. So 2 years. 2 years prior. We just cranked this one out. And it looks like a 9 over something. Don't it? Look at that 9. Amongst many other things, it's pretty healthy for a 39, right? But what makes it even healthier? It being a proof. Sorry, no tortilla. Yeah. Ain't no getting around that shit. Totally not intended for circulation, guys and ladies. Well, I'm not the only one. The thing is, I would like to let everybody know that don't know what's going on. Knowledge is power. So, and stuff that I enjoy to do, I do it with other people in harmony. Like, this is not something that I do in the corner of my confines in the twilight of my life. To me, that's one-sided and being very selfish. My selfish days are long behind me. Along with choices of a misspent youth. But you live and you learn. No risk, no reward. Chances make champions. In for a penny, in for a pound. Well, you know, when you want to start shaping in your life up and you start removing the negative things out of your life, but when you pull something out, there's this void. That void is worse than negative things in your life, because the devil's workshop, idle hands is the devil's workshop, and he works overtime. So you don't fill that void with something positive, you might as well have kept going on what you were doing, absent yanking it. We're all destined for great and unfortunate things. Ain't no getting around it. It's how we choose. It's how we react to what happens that will shape and mold us into who we're destined to become. Not all of us. Maybe some of us. Liking that one, don't know why. We're going to keep it on the side. Look, guys, we're on here exactly 2:30 right now. 2 hours, 30 minutes. You're not bothering me, though. Let's keep going. Like I said, some of our nice hitters that we just got was a 39 proof. And this 42 Mercury dime air. Yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's the first Mercury dime I ever yanked. And it happened with Joe. It's gonna get, because that air, we're gonna get it graded. Shit, now these days the kids ain't even giving themselves a fucking chance. They're dead and their body just doesn't know it yet. Everybody fucking thinks a gun is a toy. Until it ain't. Everything's all fucking laughing matter until it's not. Well, thank you, Wanda. It'll save some manatees, I'll tell you that. Save the manatees! Ooh. Yeah, he's looking all like stir-fried shit. Whoops, my bad, my bad. It wasn't where you just stop, look. All right, hold on here. God, it's heave all over. Look at that eye. Yeah, I am keeping this one off to the side, too. There's more to the picture that meets the naked eye. Wow. This one's an error. You see that? That's done during the planchette process when it's being bonded. You can just tell that's not post minted, just like all this double die. Look at the, hey, see that? See the die cracks and breaks? Right in here? Oh yeah. This is a nice air. Denver Duntadont. Oh, it's a keeper too. Oh. Got a little bit of a sander with a double die. Look at this. Triple die. Look at that. Ho, ho, ho. I think we got a triple die inverse. Or should I say reverse? Triple die reverse. Look at that. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. Look how fat and broken that. And look at that. Die clash. Oh, yeah. We got a nice error here. This is what you call a compound error when you got two or more errors going on in the same damn coin. Look at them hearts float and flutter. Arrows Cupid lands. Oh, hello, Mr. Fly. Light flies. I ended up opening the door with the light on. That was the worst thing I could have did. I'm just glad they weren't mosquitoes. Check this though. Do you see that? You guys are seeing everything I'm seeing, right? It's more the back than the front, but either or. It makes the grade. You see this above that? Right above it? How he's got like an extra fucking dome? Yeah, that's another error. That is another error, guys. You're not going to see that a lot on coins. This is the type of imperfections you should be looking for. The thing is, they stick out like a sore thumb, like a boner in a Speedo. If you can't see certain shit like this, I suggest you just don't look for errors. But you guys do see that. That's like a form of a die crack. The layering is not even keel all the way through. That makes it a major error. The back makes it a major error. But that right here on the front, right above it, how he's got like a helmet on almost above his fucking hairline, that's not supposed to be happening. Okay? It's just not supposed to. So when you find stuff like that, a weak will won't help heal the heart, but that will. We're not looking for damn Klondike bars. Hold on here. Yeah, I wanted to. You do see what I'm saying, though, about that whole thing. Wrong one. You see that, though? You don't got that here. That's a major error, guys. Don't let that pass you. Don't lack on that. Just don't do it. Be like Nike, just do it. Be like EA Sports, be in the fucking game. We're already here. So what we do, we cross T's, dot I's, and iron out wrinkles. Make sure everyone behaves. All right, guys. One more roll of this. Show a few errors if there's people on. And then we're going to shut it down because we're pushing towards 3 hours. We're at 3:40 right now. I would say we might as well just do a whole three ski and get it over with, right? Get the whole three ski going. Well, let me get a little drink then, guys. Let me get some ice in here. The hell? Oh. My bad, my bad. I don't want to dehydrate. I don't want to dehydrate, guys. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit. Suicide jumpers. Looks like we got some guys we're going to have to peel off the pavement, too. Well, that's all right. Oh, well. It happens. All right, let's see what we got. $62. Ooh. Well, these guys just trying to fall out everywhere. Another 62. 62 Denver. '86er. Whoops. All right, guys. Uh, we'll do one more roll of dime, and then we're gonna shut it up, close it up with looking at some errors and potential errors. You know what to look out for, what to keep your finger on the pulse for. You son of a gun. These guys are rolled so tight. Ah. check this guy out. Yeah, a lot of his graphics are still here. Thinned out, looking a little double-eyed. Especially on the obverse. For an 80p. 80 Philly. Yeah, you see the die cracks? Yeah, there's a lot of fuss and muss going on here. '85 looking crazy. Look like a double, triple adverse. Reverse. See? See over here to here? The machine totally didn't behave. This is looking triple. That's looking double. Double die. Adverse. Big time. Pow to the moon, Alice. Dimes are pretty eventful, it looks like. We're starting to get into them like that. You didn't see all that, right? Look at how much bigger it gets over here. Right here to here. From here to here. Double to triple. Maybe even quadruple die. But either way, there ain't no getting around it. Nice air. Nice air. We like to cross them T's, out them I's, and iron out them wrinkles and kind. It's a big time air again. We got a nice one. We like them double and triple dies. We like it. I think the strain's a little too high for some people to bear. I'm sorry, but I love the missed broken ones. We'll figure that out when we got to. And like I said, if you have any doubts, or you're looking at one from take a clean coin out, take like an average one out, and sit it next to it, and just critique it. You're gonna see exactly what's there and what ain't there. Gratitude. Tanya Tone. Gratitude. Uh-oh, we got another doubler. We got another doubler. Look at this, guys. Look at this 89p. Double die adverse for sure. Maybe even triple, but I'm taking it as a double for sure. He don't want to be born again like the water lepers. He's not worried about that. He's not the one all hot and bothered. What you need to know, though, is what's there. What's sticking out. He popped up like a mushroom. He trying to be a fun guy. Don't miss it. It might pop up like a snake and bite you, and you be a dead guy. But you guys are seeing that, right? The outlining, the drizzle of it. Over here, look at the P. That P didn't know how to behave even to save its own fucking life. In God we trust. Little bit glazed, but let's look at the let's look at the reverse. Oh! Oh yeah, tried and true. Oh yes. That front is what's really tickling the fancy, but It makes the grade. Save the manatees. Ooh. That's a nice one. That's a nice air we just yanked about 4 or 5 rolls ago. 42 Mercury. Last year that they made Mercury dimes. Okay. The fuck was that? That'd be Halo there. But yeah, that's totally done during the mintage process. I've seen that before in other coins. I'm glad it's happened on that 42. Hold on. You see right there? Look, that's concentrate just a little. You see that eye of America? See that little die crack? It's simple things like that that can constitute an error, but like... Here, we're going to move this out of the way. Look at those T's. Look at those A's. It'll make you feel all noxulous. Make you feel all fuzzy inside. You see that? You see that bleeding off? You see that double? You see them linings? You see the smudging? The Gungeoner. The double die adverse and reverse. It'll make sure you save the manatees, I'll tell you that. What the hell's going on with that? I guess that D just wants to be a dunted on. Ooh. That's a clean dime. If you ever wanted one to match up to critique other Lincoln dimes or Hamilton dimes, this would probably be the one. Whoops. Dropped a coin over here. Don't know what it was. Let's see. Well, the 69's looking rough. Look at that damn mess. Look at that ass. Slimy little snake wants to go down that sickly sewer. The Oakley Dokley. Oakley Dokley. It'll make you feel oxless noxless. drops. Oh, you little bit. Okay. I don't think we had anything special that committed suicide jumping off here. I'll grab what I can see. We'll go through them. Pretty decent hunt, though. We always have pretty eventful hunts. They're never really dull. The dull part about it is having to fucking but weed out the people who won't behave, but the herd tends to thin itself, so. Oh, shit. Look at this. This is on the ground. Oh, yeah. Hey, double or triple. Maybe even a... Hey. Here's a bare minimum, a double or a triple. It's got die cracks on the neck, but double or triple adverse. Look at that son of it. Maybe even triple. Right? Candy-coated helicopter with the leather cover. Okay. You see that? You see how big it got? It's all ooshy moosh. Giving you a constipated outlook. Oh, yeah. The strength could be a little too much for you to bear if you don't understand it. Sometimes you got to hug the floor to hold on. But, yeah, this is either a double or a triple die. See, and there's a little die break on his neck. But right here, look at that. Look at that. How many times? Oh, yeah. The back, it's playing its own game, too, here. The Ring of Fire. Doom, 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 doom. That's a 40-year-old coin this year. $65 in the air. Any airs in their ways? Yep. Got that doubling. Got that ockly dockly. Okay, guys. That's the rest of the hunt for now. What we will do, though, for a few minutes, I'll show a few different airs from other coins. Just gotta check these over, vet these little droppers. Believe we got another double die here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. You see that? That a double die. Reverse. Not reverse, adverse. Oh, yeah. Big time. Oh. Yeah, the beautiful people. Yeah, we killed it. We killed it today on this. Let me show you some other things, though. Let me see what I can find for you. Let me see what I can... So you guys can see what you guys should be looking for. If you do come across something like that, you won't hesitate. Let me see what I can find in here for you. Well, this is all gold dollars and NIFCs. This ain't gonna help us. This ain't what I'm trying to bring to the table. Let's see if I can find it over here. I'll let you guys glance at some nice, that little epic air though. There you go. That was my very first air I ever found. Ever. That's what got me onto airs. Let me see though. See if I can find. One day we're going to go through all our West Point quarters and go through airs, or, you know, which one's this or which one's that. Trying to find you guys a nice little epic. Most of the time when I want to show y'all something, I can't find it when I need it. Then I find it after. It's no biggie. I'll wait till we got a bigger crowd on, but I hope everybody liked the live. We really did kill it, though. 42 Mercury Penny Air. I mean, Mercury Dime, my bad. We ended up getting, I believe... What did we get here? Let me move these guys out of the way. These don't... I think we started with a 70 proof. That was our first... LIFC? Well, that's 46, but that's just an old ski. That ain't nothing special. I think we got a 70 proof and a 38 proof. We got some airs. I'm going to have to go through them. We're going to have to check this all out right now. This is from last hunt. This was our oldest proof. 41. 1941 proof. You know, your average proof looks like one of these. Yeah, these is what your proofs of your business strikes look like after the mint. But when they do tests a scan at a time. Now, this is something that we didn't notice before. You see this right through here? That's what you call a die break. Yeah. That's where, like, the coin is, like, almost like a little form of a shatter. And I just noticed up here, too. This T trying to look like an R. Look at that. That's a nice air for a 41 proof. We didn't notice that before. Did we? Well, there's something going on between there. I guess we can see the T, but... You see that, though? That's a die crack right there. Other than that, though, it's not intended for circulation when it was made. As for San Francisco, we can tell it's been drinking a lot of McKillicuddy's, hugging the floor to hold on. It's a little green around the gills. It reminds me of a war nickel. You know, your standard war nickels, they look a little dark because they got 35% silver in them. But yeah, this was not intended for circulation. We got that last time, but we ended up getting wherever that little fucker is. I know we just had it. Might have to get them all together, but here we go. This is what we just got earlier. So we beat the record on oldest proofs. Here's a 39. And we didn't know. We just seen it was a 39. We were happy about the year. But there's no getting around it. It's a proof. Not intended for circulation. That's what we love. We got one of these. We got a 70. We got a whole bunch of double verse, triple verse dies. 42 Mercury dime in pretty good shape with an air. So yeah, we got some gobstoppers and some Oshkoshers. I'm gonna look a little bit more for a few of these. I have them somewhere. I just got too much stuff out. Forgive me. We're at the end of our hunt though. Time I can look a little bit and see what I can pull out for you, because I got some really nice ones. You just have to find them. They tend to get a mind of their own. Or like, when it comes to the West Points with the quarters, we hit our record on the most West Points found in a hunt, which is 4. We found one of them in the recycle pile, though, so it was 3, and then it turned to 4. And it was our first West Point Silver Strike. Don't look it unless you weigh it and you vet it out. All right, guys, here's a nice quarter. You come across stuff like this, big time. This one's going in. This is a fact from the Falcons. It's a light. I believe it's a compound air I'm about to show you. It's got a light grease air on it, and it's a bit of a sanding air. Absent mint mark, though. So we'll find out when it goes in. We'll find out. Like I said, we yanked it from a hunt. I'll show you some other students though, but like with the West Points, we got a shitload of those. The last 3 or 4 we found though, like I said, the one we found in the recycle pile. I'm gonna show you a little something, and then we're gonna shut her down. This is what your average West Point would look like, guys. And how you would know it's a West Point, because you got your W mint mark for the West Point mintage. Okay? Got your W right there, just like us. We're warlords. Cotton gin, that's a nice one. Now, when it comes to these, they're only in 2019 and 20. Each one they made of them, there's only 2 million. That's not a lot. Now, there's 5 different variants of the West Point. The last ones are the Mammoths and the Abrosias. They have a W here and a V75 privy here. Like this. Okay? You got your W mint mark here. And then you got your V75 right there. You see it? Make it a little easier on you. Like I showed you before, your standard West Point. We'll just have a W, okay? Now, when you get one of the big boys, one of the gobstompers, you'll have a W. And then over here, you'll have your privy mark, V75. Okay? Now, this is the problem. We got multiple weird farms. We have a shitload of weird farms. That time, we got 4. Your average quarter, copper with alloy. Copper core alloy, all right? Now, we all know that. Weir Farm, V75. Got your W, got your... Now, check this, guys. We end up getting a couple other ones. You see? Got your copper core. V75. Now, this one was found in the discard pile. Weir Farm. W-V75. All right? Now, I just showed you the side of them. Now, look. That's the last one I showed you in the middle. Now, look. Something a little wrong here. Could be an error, or it could be, you know, I just don't know. But middle should not be looking like that. It's almost like the reverse. It's got a little copper layer, but the core is silver or something. Now, it almost reminds me of like when you're going through Kennedy's or other quarters, when you get the proofs. Your standard proof, like I said, core, copper core. Then you got the alloy that goes over it, okay? And proofs are not intended for circulation. But I'll show you this. They make multiple versions. They make a business strike, they make a proof, and then they got the silver clad proofs. Those are rare, and the normal composition of older ones was silver, just like any other coin. But when you get the silver clad proofs, those are straight silver. Some of these cases are just a fucking... But yeah. Put it up here, I'll show you. You see how you can just see the red in it? Yeah, it's a true proof out of San Francisco, but you can just tell. We're going to jump. We don't need it that magnified. That actually messes it up. But you guys can see that. Now, this is one of our proof silver clads, which is straight silver. And when you find one of these, they're a bit lighter, and they just stick out like a sore thumb. 2011 was a really rare year. They didn't make a lot to begin with, but for 2011 silver clad proofs, under 490,000. I think it's 487,000 for 2011 silver clad proofs. So yeah, when we hit this one, it was a nice one. Our first one was a 64. And a lot of people, they're like, no, that's just how it was. No, I'll show you why. You need to know the difference. I just showed you the versions, you know, the two different versions of, you know, what that is to be. Now I'm going to show you, you know, like what they were doing, like how they did it. Like why. You know, it was more of like a collector thing. But you guys got to know the difference. You know, we don't hunt for silver, so we don't give a shit. But this was made, and it's not intended for circulation. It never was. So it being a silver clad, it added to it. But when you go, you know, when you're going through this, you know, this was the standard composition of your coins back then, okay? So this is your standard Kennedy, okay? That's just all there is to it. Your mint mark's found right here. So you see our standard coin. Now, we know that's a 64. Now, a lot of people can't tell business strikes from proofs. Some years they didn't have both, but the difference between them is, you know, your proofs have like I showed you, they have that frosted adverse with a dark mirror cameo. Well, your business strikes, or your version of proofs, would just be completely cladded. It's what they do with the quarters, the nickels, the dimes. And then, like I said, if you look in the bottom, you can see that it's got the copper bond core. But like I told you, this is your standard 64. Denver. Dun-dun-dun, right? All right. Now, this is what you would call the silver clad version of a 64, which what I'm about to drop in front of you is an NIFC. This ain't. This was made and it was intended for circulation. This was not. This is what you call a silver clad strike, and they made very few of these. But you can obviously tell. If you can't tell, you're gonna, there's some trouble. It could be problematic. But we're not silver hunters. This ain't a silver hunting channel, mind you. But I'm just showing you the difference between normal composition silver to an NIFC silver. There's a big difference. This was not made and was not distributed in circulation and was never intended for circulation. We found it in circulation. That's what we do. This was made for circulation. So we don't get all hot and bothered when we come across that. These are the ones we like to find. And the copper core ones, we like the proofs that ain't like that. We like the ones that are like that. Because all this stuff is not intended for circulation. It wasn't. So you got to take all that in a retrospect. But, if you line them up, you can obviously tell because that's just how it was. And if you go to look it up, you can tell. And there's errors you can look for with this stuff, but we don't do it because we've got too much other stuff going on to keep going crazy on one little thing. But like with the newer quarters, forgive me, I'll get you back on there. I'm going to show you a little something so you guys can totally tell the difference. Get a quarter over here. Where's it? Forgive me, guys. Let me just grab a standard quarter. All right. This is your standard strike. Circulation strike. You got Denver and Philly. This is a Denver, okay? Nothing special. Put it under here. Let you check it out. It's not, you can find what you need to do, but like, we're going to put it back over here. I'm going to show you. Now, that's what they look like. Now, if you got a business strike, this is what it'll look like. You'll have your S mint mark for San Francisco, and then the whole coin will be layered in an extra clad. And they do stick out a bit. They do stick out a bit, guys, okay? But the whole thing is layered with an extra layer of clad. Now, that's a business strike. Those are honestly the hardest thing to find in circulation because they just were never designed or intended or distributed in circulation. So, and very low mint run, very, very low. And then you got proofs. You got the same aspect with the mint mark, S mint mark, but you got a dark mirror cameo. And then the obverse on the reverse front is minted, frosted, like minted Prater. You can tell the difference between them. Whoops. But yeah, they're really beautiful coins. But these guys were never intended for circulation, ever. But yeah, we find these in rolls. It's like Arkansas. Here's an Arkansas proof. You see? You got that nice mirror cameo. The obverse is frosted. Same on the back. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we do on here. That's what we specialize in, guys. Finding stuff that's not intended for circulation. Airs, new stuff. Just whatever floats the boat. But, we're very unique in our own aspect. Like I said, we got a lot of people gravitating towards this channel because we do on here what most channels don't do. Most channels are very simple, and they won't even go through coins with you. If they find something they feel like is significance, then they stop and then they'll show you. Well, I like to vet through every coin with everybody. There's no such thing in I in team, so. But yeah, we like to set the bar high here, and we do. We do. And we have a lot of fun, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But yeah, eventually we're gonna have to figure something out about the West Points because we have a lot of them. Oh, do we have a lot? We have a lot. But like I said, that's what's bothered me a little bit with those West Points. I don't know if that's a silver strike when it comes to those Weir farms, or whatever the case may be. But it really gets you a wonder. Fuck. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut her down though, man. We've been going at this for 3+ hours. I would love to keep going, but duty calls. Provisions of damn labor. Oh, I know what I want to do. Somebody brought up toners. We love toners. We're gonna be sending some to see if they get graded. And like I said, got some beautiful ones. You come across any of them like this, they're missing their clad airs. I'm gonna show you some. If I can get a hold of them in a proper fashion. I can show you here. You want to see some nickel toners from the last hunt? I think I got them a little close by. This is one of our epic finds during the 50-cent hunt. Napoleon's grandson as Emperor of France. Yep. King of the Andals and the First Men. Third of his name. King of ice cream. King of cannons. 170-year-old coin. Yeah, that was like one of our big epic finds. Not intended for circulation. Okay, well, we're getting somewhere. These are all our damn West Points. We got a lot of West Points in here, but this ain't all. This is most of them. Other than the ones I showed you in that tube, we've got a decent amount. We've got to figure something out with that. But where's those toners? I was looking for them toners, those nickel toners. Right here. Here we go. These are some nice ones I found in the last hunt with y'all. A lot of people that turn that blind eye and run away. Well, that'd be childish of you. Some of these guys are beautiful. I know it looks like it was burnt, but it's not. You can't really see much. You can see some of the toning under the scope. And it could happen from a magnitude of reasons. It could be air oxidizing. This one's nice, though. And collectors, if you get them certified, and they are certified airs, collectors love toners. Oh, do they love them. They eat them up like fucking hotcakes. But let me find some other nice ones. These are ones I haven't tossed yet. Let's see, where the hell would they be? Oh, too much stuff going on and not enough time, everybody. Not enough time. These ain't toners. What's up, buddy? But there's just so much stuff going on. I'm trying to find you. It's like whenever you want it right then and there, it's just not going to happen. Just like I'm thinking about those 41 proofs that I found. Those pennies. Those 41 proofs. Yeah, I found 2 of those during our punny hunt. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to send those bastards in. Because they're just, they're commanding respect. I don't know if these are toners. Hold on here. I had some beautiful fucking toners, like, they remind you of fruit roll-ups. Or like this. These aren't a toner, but like, you come across ones like this, keep them. Behave, Sir Pounce. Yeah? What about that? Don't worry, we'll get there. That's right, Sir Pounce. That's right. We'll get there. We'll pay. Too much claw from the paw, huh? Huh? Too much claw from the paw. That's right, Bubs. I can't find my super red toners right now. I'm just looking too hard, but like. You'll be all right. I have a scary one that's like. Here, let me put that on there. I know you really can't see much. The microscope can be a little deceiving with it. Bless you. Gesundheit. Behave. Behave you. But yeah, this is a real nice one. And if it's a certified error, oh, it's gonna be a gobstomper. So we'll see. There's a million different reasons why, oxidization takes on a form, but when it misses a layer, sometimes you'll get ones that look beet red like rubies. I actually have a nice little fucking stack of them. I don't know exactly where they're at, but one thing I did want to pull out though, a lot of people like foreign money. We found a lot of foreign money. We always find foreign money when we're going through our hunts. I mean, we find a lot of killer foreign money. Like, we go big on it. My daughter was holding on one of my old hoards. This is stuff that I was collecting before I even had a YouTube channel and was doing it on here with y'all. So I figured, I might have to pull them out and show them again with a bigger audience, but I figured, you guys like to see. This is the type of stuff that pops up all the time in our rolls. But this stuff was stuff that I just had put away for years and actually forgot about it. I mean, we got from Singapore, Zimbabwe, China, Hong Kong. Chai chai chicken chai bao wong. Hatapawa. Some elk blood. But yeah, we get around, but this is nice. Brazil, it'll teach you how to fucking behave. That pretty much means don't be eating it. You go to hell for that. They love their cow. There's a nice another little Singapore. Look at how tiny some of these little fuckers look. Look like little trilobites. Now we found a few of these. We've got a lot of these in that other one. Yeah, that'll get you a new Taiwan. That'll make sure you make it across the river. That's right, you. You'll behave. It seems like most of this is Singapore, but you just never know what's in here. €5. Another little Singapore. Keep it. I'm telling you, keep it. I mean, we even found money from 1945, 1700s, 1800s. Like we found coins that we made on behalf of Panama after World War II. Real epic, mint condition. But yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start with a lot of this stuff, but it looks like a lot of it's Singapore for sure. Got some Hong Kong, seen Brazil. That's a thick son of a bitch. Probably make sure you don't get mowed down by Grandpa Papason while you're charging the wiring chung. Either way, long run, short run, you have no choice. What's going on here? Oh, that's the Canada dialect of the mallard, huh? Okay. Some of my favorite, though, was like Brazil, Zimbabwe. But yeah. It's cool when you come across this type of stuff. But yeah, we're going to shut her down so I can post those nice hitters. Because like I said, what's the odds? We're not looking for it. But what's the odds of getting a 42 Mercury air? You know? You can't make the shit up. And there ain't no getting around it. We're gonna take advantage of it the right way. We're gonna embrace it, not extort. But we did kill it. We got a 39 proof, 70 proof. We got some decent proofs, guys. Some decent proofs. More punch than a bowl of juice. But if there's anything you want being brought to the table, you know, just don't be afraid to say something, guys. You know, line of communication is the key. If you don't say nothing, nobody's ever gonna know. So I hope y'all had a good time. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your Warlord with them. I'm out. Save the manatees. Ooh.